Alice loved painting. And I imagine if you love painting, you see things that you can imagine painting. Everybody knew she did paintings of people, but she wanted them to know that that was not all she painted. She painted what she saw in a moment and then captured on the canvas. What I love is the saturation, the colors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
and look at the books, and the suggestion of books, you know.
that's what I wasn't sure. What do you
And
think that is?
this plate, she loved it. It was some place from, could have been Mexico even. It was.
Well, this bowl is still in the bedroom. It is.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything that would catch her eye and that she suddenly perhaps almost saw the composition, she would go home and paint what was important to her. Or she would see something day after day and think, I really want to paint that, and not get to it, but then one day get to it and paint it. Is this in Belmar? I guess it's called Belmar. But
Yeah, I think because the Spring Lake, there were huge hotels that were right on the beach, you know. This street is more local, you know. Yeah. And this little building, what is
Royal Rooms.
Yeah, well, that's a bit of an exaggeration. Needless to say, it's amazing, huh? Yeah. How imaginative is that? You know?
I know. I just love this one. So emotional, you know?
Yeah, Harlem River.
It's falling into the river.
Yeah.
She did that watercolor, you know. That is.
And the clouds, look at the clouds.
Aren't they gorgeous?
It's hard to tell what's water and what's clouds.
Yeah. Alice was a very emotional person. Things affected her more than just on the surface. Just a sense of, it's dark, all the colors are dark, part of the building seems to be falling into the, life is falling apart. I'm not saying that she sat down and said, I'm going to do a painting of my life falling apart. That just came through in the act of painting.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think it's a powerful image of somebody who has just lost a child.
There's John. I've never seen it this well lit.
No. It's interesting when you get so close to it, how much more vivid it is than viewing at a distance. You know?
Also you can see how she did it, and it almost takes on an abstract quality, that hand, you know, this section, that section. But it's shadow, and when you stand back, that's what it looks like.
It's so him, amazing, you know, with the pipe. A lot of people use a smoke pipe. In those days, you hardly ever see anybody now.
Look at the hinge on the table.
Yeah.
I mean, just look how confident that is.
Yeah.
I love that painting.
Yeah. This painting of Rothschild with the fruit, as I said, Alice didn't pose him and make that painting. That's just what was in her mind, and she loved how he looked and the fruit, and you could feel the connection between the two, and he's deep in thought and concerned, and she caught all of that, you know, but again, she didn't pose people to look like something they weren't. Now this is an absolutely amazing work. You know, whole table with the flowers. Alice loved flowers.
Look at how she's above it, looking down.
Yeah. Again, look at the use of light. Light, shadow,
Yeah. I love her shadows.
And the flowers are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Look.
So this was at the top of the stairs for so long.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth explained to me why she loves it so much.
Yeah.
And partly because it references all the still
Yeah.
lifes of art history. Look how that looks.
Yeah. And the fish.
And the fish looks like a human.
Yeah, it's terrified in some way.
Yeah.
It's almost dazed. But look at the fear in this face.
I
It's
know.
like a portrait of the head and body of a fish that's been cut,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
She felt so much empathy for everything.
Yeah. She had absolute precise measurement for up to 6 hours. She could, if she got on a bus and saw two people that she thought were interesting, she could come home and make a precise image of that. And there are a number of works that she did in this way. I think that she, again, was very spontaneous and didn't decide exactly where things should be or whatever. It's just what she saw. And it's very honest, all of it.
A lot of people don't realize what an intellectual she was, because she's very funny. She can put on a show, and but she was also extremely serious and read a great deal. And this memory, again, would come. She could quote lines from Russian novels and the Bible. And she was very affected, apparently, early in her life with the Bible, the sad stories. And that I think her emotionality was just part of what she was born with.
This was at 107th Street?
Yeah.
Looking up?
Looking out.
Yeah.
Looking out the rounded window.
Yeah.
Just feeling the rain coming down.
And every person in this has a character, personality. When you look, everything from the little kids, to the colors and the various way people are walking, so you really get the feeling it's alive. It's, and the vehicles and all of the things.
And you get the feeling she's looking out.
Yeah. And
look at the kids playing.
The feeling of wetness and rain
is the most amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels drenched coming down.
Again, the framing is beautiful in terms of offsetting the whole work. Yeah.
And she chose not to give them faces.
Right.
It's just a sense of it.
Right.
I think when she painted, say, Broadway or this house was across the street from a house that she bought, I believe, in the early 60s, maybe 61 or 62.
Yeah.
That is the house across the street from her house. This little green edge might even be the lawn. Now that's one where I'm saying she couldn't have just seen it one day and thought, oh, I'm going to paint that. She saw it day after day. But at some moment, when the sun was a certain way, the shadows were a certain way.
As I said, it comes alive. All the little porch and the windows and every detail is shown. She put so much of herself into everything she painted.
At the same time, she said she loved composition. She loved how she was going to cut up the canvas. And you can certainly see that in this. How she chose what part of the road and how far down to have it, and all the balancing.
Yeah. It's a portrait and it's something that she could focus on and love, whether there was a person in it, there wasn't a person in it, everything was fair game for her. The beautiful blue of the sky, and again, look at the hands.
Yeah.
The beautiful way she showed hands, and
I also love when you like the streaks of, color. You know, the leg of John Perrault.
Yes.
And there are so many colors in it that you don't expect, but when you stand back, it's all perfect. This is just all the colors of a scarf that it picks up, you know. She saw all those, and I love how she does that.
And the coat slung over his shoulder, and again the detail of the clothing. And look, this and the shoulder, everything, the vest, the side, it's quite amazing. And here you expect to somehow see through this, and she just takes a little.
And his hand's in his pocket, you know. But.
Yeah. Huh. New York is a constant input of the crush of, people and machines and noise and distraction. And I think that her painting in the country, she was able to relax, take more of the thought and spirit of nature, and she loved going there. It helped her deal with the craziness of the city. Whenever she painted anything she loved, and she just was attracted to all sorts of things, and she was fearless in terms of what was going to happen when she did that. And she didn't change things. She stayed on her own path all her life.
She would come and visit us in Vermont, and she loved new experiences. She'd always want to be a part of whatever you were doing. She was amazing that way. I'm trying to think, but like if we took the canoe out, I want to get in the canoe. Of course, for Hartley, that was a little bit of a difficulty. He said no, because she couldn't swim. But she would want to do anything. And she'd become excited about what you were doing. And she's buried on our place in view of a building we made available to her. Well, she never had a studio because life happened right in her apartment. And so she'd bring her easel to the room where somebody took a seat and was sitting like this or like this, whatever their personality showed. But in Vermont, we had a teeny little house, so we said, well, you don't have room, why don't you use this place? She fixed it up and made it her studio, but she's buried right where she can see the studio, and we're all going to be joining her. We're trying to hold it off for a while. And everything was fine as long as Hartley would bring the New York Times home every day. She wanted to know what was going on in New York. Alice didn't want to lose that connection because things seemed to go very fast. And
she wanted to do it all,
Yeah, she did.
And this business of her wanting to swim, although she couldn't swim, or getting a canoe. She, when I once was up in Dartmouth in northern New England, I came down on my motorcycle all the way from there, and one night I got home at 4 a.m., and the next day she came out and said, I want to ride. Alice, you're not going to get a ride.
Same window.
Yeah. Same street.
Yeah.
Out that round window.
Yeah.
And again, the people.
Oh, that's looking down on
See
umbrella.
again, sort of this. He's faceless. This guy, And,
I know, it's so interesting.
And again, there's some rain there, obviously,
Yeah.
with the pull cord above, and then the outline, you know, with the blue.
Yeah.
And
So she was 81.
yeah, wow.
And that was when she had you took her to Mass General and found that the doctors in New York had misdiagnosed.
Yeah.
And so she would be blacking out. That's why she was thinking of death.
Oh, sure. The accuracy of the skull is amazing.
But I think that skull was there, the one she has in her apartment.
Yeah. But all of the anatomy of the skull is very good, you know, in the blood vessels and everything.
She called it the living and the dead. I had met Alice before I knew Hartley, and I always thought of them as a troika against the world. You know, Alice and her two sons. They were so connected, and there was so much love on her part. And somehow, you wouldn't imagine her being a disciplinarian, but somehow they knew there were limits. And they'd come in, and she was painting, they wouldn't bother her. They'd go into their own room. And she found them a private school.
Yeah, we were very lucky. One story I tell 1,000 times, you may have heard it or read it, was one afternoon I was playing with my brother, and comes the big knock on the door. And so I went to the door, and there were two good-looking young guys with trench coats on. They said, they want to speak to your mother. So I said, well, fine, I'll get her. And then Alice came into the room, and they said, listen, you know, we're the FBI. We want to ask you some questions. So what she said was, I don't have any FBI guys in my collection. Come on in and I'll paint you. And they
turned bright red.
They turned bright red, and I said, well, we have to go. Gone.